So, about 2 months ago, I decided I wanted to get healthier and I started an exercise program. I think we've all done that. One thing that has struck me over these last 2 months is how tackling my exercise goals and my getting healthier goals has been very similar to paying off debt and getting control of my finances. Okay, I know what you're thinking, exercise and debt, like what's the connection? But trust me, the similarities are pretty uncanny. So let's break it down. You're listening to the Debt Free Dad podcast, where we help normal, everyday people pay off debt so they can live a happier and less stressful life. My name is Ryan Nelson, and my wife and I paid off about $160,000 in debt over 8 years while we were raising three kids. So as I've gotten older, you get a few more aches and pains. And those aches and pains are usually met with take this medicine at the doctor. I think if you've been to the doctor, you know, if you bring up any kind of ache and pain, there's not a lot of treatment these days. It's here's some medicine, take this. And with that medicine, usually comes other side effects that you deal with. And so I think as I've gotten older, I really don't want to go down that route as I've started to be prescribed these medicines. So I really don't want to go down that route if I don't have to. So I was kind of met with a decision that I had to make. Keep doing what I was doing and probably end up on more meds and more pain, or I take control of it and I can do something about it. As I've been going through this, I'm realizing how closely related our debt journey was and this journey has been. So today I want to kind of break down 5 ways that can help you tackle your goals. So number 1 is the starting line, and that's facing the facts and education. With fitness, before you hit the gym, before eating healthy, you've got to assess, right? What's your current fitness level? What are your goals? Or are you aiming to grow muscle? Or you just want to feel more energized and lose a little weight? What's your age? Do you need to learn about fitness and maybe a healthy lifestyle? When it comes to debt, it was very similar when we got out of debt. We had to take an honest look at our debt. How much do you really owe? Where are you spending your money at? Are you keeping a monthly budget? Is the problem really the debt or is it you? And do you need to be educated or maybe even re educated about money or fitness? So I think it's really important when you start that you're facing the facts and the reality of what sort of education you might need out there. And a big thing is dispelling the myths when it comes to kind of re educating yourself. When it comes to fitness and finances, diet and budget are words that have a negative view. So if you think about if you're like, I'm going to go on a diet, you probably have this feeling. Or if I say you need to be on a budget, you probably have this feeling. You need to stop believing myths or things you may have brought up to believe that are true that are actually false. Both a diet and a budget are very critical to your success. So I think you really just got to get rid of that idea that those two words are bad. Number 2 is a plan of attack, and strategy is the key. So for fitness again, and as I'm going through this, especially as you get older, you don't want to just want to wander into the gym and start randomly lifting things or doing exercises. I mean, some people might do that, but I think any trainer or anybody, as again, as I've been educating myself, they don't recommend that. You really need a plan, a structured approach with clear exercises and targets that work for you. An accountability partner is a great way to stay motivated. My wife and I started this exercise program and getting healthier together. So we're able to hold each other accountable. When it came to our debt payoff required the same mindset. It's not a great idea to just start paying off debt without having a plan to follow. It's the same way with fitness. We tell people we don't recommend that you just jump in and start paying off debt. You can do it, but you're probably not going to have a lot of success because typically the debt for most people is the symptom and it's not the problem. And again, finding an accountability partner or group is a huge help when it comes to debt and even fitness in itself. I mean, the normal world out there, especially when it comes to debt and finances, most people are living paycheck to paycheck and they're not doing this stuff. So having accountability partner or a group of people to help you with the same mindset is huge. Number 3, consistency is king or queen. So fitness, when it comes to fitness, it's one of those things, you do an amazing workout, right? And you wake up the next day and you want to like look at yourself in the mirror and think, whoa, I'm already strong or I already got muscles. And it doesn't work like that, right? It's about showing up consistently, even when you don't feel like it. And trust me, especially when it comes to this and learning how to do this stuff, there are mornings where I don't feel like it. And I'm not going to say every morning we've done it perfectly. We haven't, but it's being consistent. And those regular efforts do build strength and endurance over time. And we can see that after just a couple of months, where we started and where we're at now. I can do things and do things longer or better than I did when I first started. And so we are seeing some improvements by being consistent. Even when we don't feel like doing it or we're not doing it the best, absolute best way possible, we're still doing it. Same thing with our debt. And this is, again, through our debt journey, we've seen this. It's a marathon, it's not a sprint. So paying back your debt is not going to happen overnight. It's taking you potentially years and years to get into this debt, and it's going to take some time to get out. But the same rules apply. Being consistent is the key to chipping away at that balance, and it's building momentum. You're going to be amazed at what you can accomplish in just a year if you can keep just having some consistency. And again, it's not to be perfect. You're not going to be perfect at it. It's okay. It's about being consistent day in and day out. Number 4 is finding your why. And this is a big one for me. I think why is so important for a lot of people, and it's really your secret weapon. And so, like from a fitness standpoint, finding your why, it's helping me stay motivated. It's like, why do I want to be healthier? It has to be something more powerful to keep me motivated when the time comes. Like for a long time, being motivated to work out was like, I want to have a beach body or I want to have bigger muscles. And the reality is that wasn't really a big deal to me. I think as I've gotten older and I'm starting to now have to take these medicines, like I said, I don't have to take these. I'm choosing to take them by living the life that I'm doing. And so it's a very similar to debt in the sense of, if you figure out your why, a lot of times we're choosing to be irresponsible with money to live in the moment because our why is not important enough to us. We're not trying to accomplish something bigger than ourselves. And so finding your why of why you want to get out of debt, visualizing yourself without debt, celebrating your progress, and again, finding that support of a community or financial coach, a positive mindset can make a huge difference. And it's really important from my standpoint that if you just think about if your why isn't strong enough, it's super easy to quit. And I've seen this in my own life over and over again, even with debt before we got really serious and figured it out. Our whys were very superficial, very loosey goosey. I want to retire one day. I want to have more money one day. Or when it comes to working out, I want to look better one day. And none of that is going to keep you or keep us, or none of it kept us motivated because it wasn't important. It wasn't until we got really clear on what we're trying to accomplish that we started to remain consistent. And number 5, setbacks happen and you need to embrace the recovery. And so from a fitness standpoint, what I'm learning is you get hurt. You get an illness, things happen, right? You wake up. I just got over a cold recently. Those mornings of working out weren't exactly fun. It's easy to say, I'm just not going to do it or I'm going to skip it. But those things happen. And the key is to acknowledge that it happens, allow yourself to recover, and then get back on track with a potentially modified plan if needed. And I've already had to do that in these 2 months. I have some feet issues, and sometimes they bother me, and it's easy to just say, well, they hurt, and I guess I just won't do it. But you just figure it out and kind of continue on your way. You'd have to do it a modified way. Maybe it's going to slow your progress down, but you'll still be making progress. And the same thing with debt. Again, I mean, we've seen this when we were doing this: unexpected expenses, job loss, emergencies. These all can derail your debt payoff journey, and they did for us as well. But don't beat yourself up. You need to just reevaluate, adjust your budget, forgive yourself if you mess up, which it's going to happen. It happens to all of us. And being consistent is the goal, not perfect. And I think this one is, from some of the big voices out there in the industry when it comes to debt payoff, is you need to be perfect. And if you do anything outside of the realm of like what certain people teach, well, you're a terrible person and, you shouldn't be doing it. And quite honestly, a debt-free dad, we just don't take that approach. That's not how most people live their lives. We are going to mess up. To this day, even with money and fitness, I mess up. I'm not perfect when it comes to my debt still, but I'm consistent. So even if I mess up, I'm consistent to make sure that I don't keep messing up. And I think that's the mindset that you have to adopt. So Honestly, there you have it. Whether you're starting an exercise program or you're paying off debt, the principles are surprisingly similar. It's about setting goals, creating a plan, staying consistent, and maintaining a positive mindset. Remember that both journeys require effort, discipline, and a belief in your ability to succeed. Thanks for checking out the Debt Free Dad podcast. Until next time, keep crushing those goals, both financial and fitness related, if that's what you're doing. Take care.